Inactivity. Today, most people are not so active anymore, right? The exercise most people do today is just walking from your house to the garage, get into your car. And then from the parking lot to your workplace. Very little activity. Then, of course, today we're living in a society full of stresses. And even young people have a lot of stresses too. I see my grandson carries a big bag each morning. It's quite heavy. How many pounds would you say? Probably 20 pounds or 30 pounds of books and carry to the school. And in the evening, had to carry this bag with the books home to do homeworks. Of course, children has good coping mechanism for stress, but I can see there's underneath it, there's some stress going on there, all right? So stress. Food. You see the food here? Speaking of my grandson, where is he now? I remember when he was young, we would take him to Chinese restaurant. He would say, I do not like Chinese food. Then we would take him to Mexican restaurant. He said, I don't care for Mexican food. Then we asked him, no, Mexican food, he did like it. We take him to Japanese restaurant. He said, I don't like Japanese food. Then we asked him, what kind of food do you like? He said, I love French food. French food. We've been wondering, what kind of French food? We don't have too many French restaurants in our area. Where did he get to eat the French food? Later on, we discover he loves French fries. He loves French fries. Fried potatoes, or you call it French fries, I guess. Then inactivity is like couch potatoes, American expression, I guess. You call it couch potatoes. 2 months ago in Beijing, I was trying to tell people couch potatoes. Chinese people had no concept what couch potatoes are. So Esther told me, just tell them you need to be more active. Don't tell them about couch potatoes anymore. Then stress. Stress is hot potato. Kira, do you know why we say hot potato? Or you guess the hot potato. Immediately you say it's too hot. I throw it back to Pastor Ira. Pastor Ira got it hot. Throw it to Susan. Hot potato. I try to explain to Chinese students the hot potato. They had difficulty to understand. So I decided I will not use these illustrations anymore. Fried potatoes, couch potatoes, hot potatoes are 3 major reasons. In other words, oily food, fatty food, inactivity, and stress happens to be the 3 main causes for having metabolic syndrome. Now, how to prevent and treat metabolic syndrome? Let's look at these 3 causes. And you see, we need to treat the cause rather than treating the symptom. So for foods, we need to look into whether our foods contain too much oil or too much fat. Inactivity, we need to look into to see whether or not we can improve in that area. And some people like to go to a gymnasium, fitness club, and I think walking, everybody can do walking. It's very good. Walking, brisk walk for 30 minutes a day, 6 times a week will be very beneficial. And stress, Last night we talked about a little bit about stress management. So find a good stress management technique you can use. And by removing the causes, and we can eliminate or we can prevent metabolic syndrome. By that, we can eliminate or prevent the risk for developing the killer diseases. Now let Esther take over from here. You have a microphone? Okay.
About time, because he likes to talk and I like to talk. So today we decided we're going to have equal time. And I want to welcome all of you here this morning. I'm going to take off my coat. I was so cold. But I'm going to talk about food. Food is very powerful. Can you hear me okay? I'm on, huh? Food is very powerful. Some foods can cause diseases, and some foods can actually prevent and reverse diseases just by making some changes in what we eat. Just making some changes, we can reduce our premature deaths by 80 to 90%. 80 to 90%, just by making some changes to reduce our premature death. So food is very, very powerful. This morning and this afternoon, I'm going to share some tips on how to eat healthy. Last summer, we spent 2 months in Beijing, China, conducting health seminars and teaching. When we left, they gave us each one of these. So I thought, oh, how nice, pen and pencil set. But when I opened it, this is what I found. There's a fork, a spoon, and a pair of chopsticks. But these chopsticks are in half, so you have to screw them on. So this is actually a travel utensil kit. It's very, very convenient. I love it. Now, you know, 2/3 of us, scientists tell us, 2/3 of us living today will die either of cancer or heart disease by what we put at the end of these utensils. 2/3 of us, either by cancer or heart disease, by what we put at the end of these utensils. We already mentioned earlier there are, this morning I'm going to talk about 3 killer diseases, which mentioned earlier. What is the number 1 cause? Number 1, heart disease, right, heart disease. There are nearly 1 million people in the U.S. die of heart disease, heart attacks and strokes. Among women, 1 in 2.5 dies from a heart attack or stroke, as compared to 1 in 30 from breast cancer. What is the number 2 cause of death? Cancer, that's right, cancer. 80% of all cancers, 80% of all cancers are due to toxic chemicals in our food, in the air, and in the water. Toxic chemicals. In the food, there are over 15,000 chemicals that's allowed to be added to our food and beverages. 15,000 chemicals. Unless we make some changes in our own diet or what we feed our children, 1 in 3 girls will grow up with cancer. 1 in 3. And 1 in 2 boys will get cancer. What is the number 3 cause of death in the U.S.? Diabetes, that's right, diabetes. You know, as we gain more weight, more and more people are becoming diabetics. Even our children are getting the adult onset diabetes. Among the elementary children and middle school, 1 in 3 already overweight. And among the teens 1 in 5 has high cholesterol. 1 in 5 teens. For those children who were born the year 2000 or later, 2000 later, or those who are 10-year-olds or younger, 1 in 3 will get diabetes. 1 in 3. So we have a huge, I call a health crisis, a huge health crisis in the U.S., huge health crisis. And the cause is what we eat. It's what we eat. Do you know what is the strongest predictor for these killer diseases? Heart attacks, cancer, diabetes. What is the strongest predictor? It is not age, not gender, not even stress. It's not smoking. It's not even obesity, although it's related. The strongest predictor was mentioned earlier is our blood cholesterol level. That is the strongest predictor whether one will get these killer diseases. So you must know what your cholesterol is. In populations